Hi, I'm Rob and I've been sent a dehumidifier to review. Now, I know what you're thinking, that seems a bit random considering you normally do games and other tech and things like that. But this is tech, and this is important tech at winter time. In winter time, a lot of people tend to dry their clothes indoors, and that causes humidity in the air. And humidity causes moisture. Moisture causes damp. Damp causes breathing issues and health problems and other stuff as well. It's like your heating bills cost more. Damper air costs more to heat than drier air. So something like this is actually an investment. You take the humidity out of the air to the natural level and your heating can go down. You can actually save a lot in heating alone, which is one of the reasons I want to take a look at this, because I do dry my clothes in the winter on the radiators. Not one of these people that uses a tumble dryer or anything like that. They're expensive to run and they can shrink clothes and cause other issues as well. So I prefer to dry clothes indoors in the winter, which is where this really comes in handy. It's going to suck all the moisture out of the air to the correct level and cut our heating bills, thus paying for itself. I mean, I know I didn't pay for it, but I'm still going to review it anyway, because if it works great, then it's going to be an absolute godsend. So let's take this thing out of the box. Very straightforward packaging. Come on. Come. There you go. Well, it's quite a compact unit. Yeah, quite a big instruction manual. I'm sure that's just for many different languages. So dehumidifier, it's not that complicated. Packing was very straightforward. It's just like the packaging at the bottom, polystyrene bottom and top. Right, it does come with a hose as well. This is if you want to route this outside. So you got it on a permanent sort of water release system. But it does have a self-contained water container as well, so you can actually use it anywhere you like. And when the water fills, it'll tell you, it will cut off. It's not going to keep on collecting water then overspill. You can empty the water and carry on. It's a very nice, compact looking unit. Look, it's not that heavy. I had one of these before, a bigger dehumidifier, but it weighed an absolute ton. So if this is even remotely as effective as that, and it's this kind of size, then this is going to be absolutely brilliant. So let's plug it in and give it a go. Right, now one very important thing indeed. If you're not going to use the hose to run this through your wall or outside permanently, then you must put this little bung plug here into this part here. So you're going to just stop any water leaking out from there. So let's give that a good shove, make sure it's right in there, gov. There we go. No water leaking out of that. Well, so with that bung in place, it means we're going to use the built-in water container to capture all the water we draw out of the air. Right, now let's take a look at the controls. Now this dehumidifier is very, very straightforward to use. We'll take a look at the controls and how loud it is, because that is very important to some people. Got touch sensitive controls there, just to tap the power button to turn it on, and we'll get a reading here of our relative humidity in the room. Now, what is recommended humidity may vary upon country to country, but in the UK, the recommended amount for this kind of season, the winter, is between 40 and 50. Anything more than that, you risk condensation, which can have some health side effects, as well as just not be very nice. It can cause mould and stuff like that. And also, like I said earlier, adds to your heating bills as well, because moisture in the air, like more moist air, costs more to heat. So if you dry the air out a bit, you can actually reduce your heating bills at the same time. So 63 is a bit too high. You can change the speed on this by this control here. It'll probably get a little bit louder now as it kicks into high speed mode. Yeah, a little bit more noisy. Let's just change it down to low. Obviously that'll affect how quickly it reduces moisture from the air, and is recommended to have this at least 20 centimeters from any corner. And you've got these different modes. Now continuous basically means it's going to just continue to just draw moisture out of the air no matter what, until it can basically do no more. So if you press this button here, it doesn't actually do anything. The best way to use these for decent economy at the same time, I would suggest, is to have it in the first mode, which is basic dehumidifier, and set your level of this to your preferred amount. As you press it, it will cycle through different levels. You wouldn't want it on this sort of high, otherwise you're defeating the point of having your dehumidifier in the first place. But let's set it to say 45, like that. It will stay there a couple of seconds and then it will go back and show us the relative humidity in the room, and it will continue to work until it draws it down to 45, which is really, really good, and then it will shut off automatically. So it means you can actually leave this on when you go out and come back to a more moisture controlled environment. Now let's take a look at the sleep mode next, because this is another mode on this. It suggests you could have this on while you're sleeping and run a lot quieter, but let's see how much quieter it actually is. Right, that may have been me just kind of misreading or misinterpreting what the sleep mode meant, but basically all it's done is, I think, turned off this display here, so it's not like giving a bright light which can disrupt your sleep. But sound wise, I didn't actually notice any change in how much quieter or louder this is. So let's press that again and go to the basic dehumidifier mode. Right, now one other important thing about this kind of device is how much energy they use, because if, for example, you save some money in decreased heating bills because of the moisture drawn from the air makes your heating work less, then it's a bit annoying if, for example, it uses so much energy that it ends up offsetting that, even though it's still a healthier place to live without that extra moisture. But let's check it anyway. So we're in high power mode at the moment, so this is working as hard as it can. We're in dehumid mode with our amount we want to get it drawn down to is 45 before it cuts off automatically, and we're currently on 56. But let's see how much energy it's using. We've got it plugged into my meter reader here. As we can see, it's between 177 and 186 watts. So we call it around about 180 to 185 watts at the moment. That will actually increase or decrease depending upon how hard it is working, and if you put it into low speed mode, then it'll get a bit quieter. And the energy cost should actually go down a little bit. Let's just take a look and see if it's adjusted. Yeah, it's gone down to about 175 to around about 180. That will settle down. The meter takes like a few minutes to actually get an accurate reading, but yeah, that will decrease slightly. So yeah, that's not too bad actually. That's reasonably efficient for something of this size. All right, so the time is 10:33 a.m. Let's give this thing a proper real world workout. It's on humidity 65 at the moment, on speed high. I've literally just turned it on, and as you can see, the water chamber is completely empty. Okay, I did lose track of time ever so slightly, and it's now nearly 5 to 3, so about 4 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. But let's take a look at the dehumidifier. We've gone down to 54 on the humidity, so it's still lowering it slowly but surely. Let's have a look at how much water it's... What? That's to there! What the hell? That's amazing! That's in just over 4 hours. I'm going to turn it off completely and empty this out just to show you how much water this thing has done. In crikey, that's a load of water in there. Right, so let us empty it out. You can take off this part if you want to, if you need to clean it or anything like that. I mean, it's 1.6 litre capacity, but in 4 hours and a bit, this is what we got. That is a lot for just over 4 hours. Wow, I'm well impressed by that. So I've been using this Leenon Dehumidifier now for a few days, and I've got to say it's actually very rare I'm this impressed by a product. If I want to fault it on anything, it's maybe that the water container could be maybe a little bit bigger. It holds 1.6 litres, and it did get near the top quite quickly after like 4 or 5 hours, but that just shows how good this thing is. I mean, I used to have I think it was Ancor dehumidifier, ANCOR, and I'm not kidding you, the thing was like this high compared to this, almost twice the height, nearly twice as wide, and it weighed literally 5 times as much. This is, no, lightweight. You can pick it up and move it around from room to room easily, but my other one I had was like a workout every time you moved it. It was absolute, weighed a ton, and this draws more water per hour than that did, so I think this is a virtual bargain. Very good price, and like I say, reducing the moisture in your home can cut down on your heating bills in the winter. No one likes moisturized air. Sometimes you can go into a room and you can just feel that moisture level in the air isn't quite right, and this is where this comes in handy, and just running it for a couple of hours, actually you can feel the difference in the air, and that means you're breathing healthier air at the same time. So all in all, a fantastic product. Very, very happy with it. Absolutely love it. I would, if I didn't have one of these and I knew how good it was, I would buy one. I can't get any fairer than that. It's like absolutely fantastic, and it's fairly quiet too. I don't think you could sleep with it. Well, I can't anyway with it on, so I'm quite a light sleeper. But the light going off is a pretty nice touch. But if you're a heavy sleeper, like light background noise doesn't affect you, some might even see it as like white noise in the background, so that actually can help them sleep sometimes, but not for me. I'd have to have it off in the night. But it's absolutely fantastic, and I thoroughly recommend it. So there's a video. If you fancy buying one of these, there's a link in the description below. But I absolutely love it. But thanks for watching, and bye for now.